Hey, what's up everybody? I'm here with a pretty meaningful screen for me. I beat this level 2 days ago. This is my this is my new artist, and it actually happens to be my first completed Extreme Demon. Classic Extreme Demon, I should say. I've already beaten platformer Extreme Demons, but this is my first classic one. So yeah, this video, before rather than just showing my completion right away, I wanna first talk a little bit about the level, what I think about it, so far and so on. So first of all, this level, as you can see, is very short, only 47 seconds. It's very condensed difficulty. I first saw this level on Person Human's channel. I thought it was cool, so I wanted to give it a try. And I tried it like a long time ago, actually, but then didn't play it anymore. And I didn't have much progress back then. Just did a few practice runs, and that was about it. But then I came back to this level recently, like 10 days ago around, and I beat this in 5 or 6 days of playtime, which is pretty insane. I'm actually very happy about myself. I beat it very quickly, and yeah, so before jumping into it, I'm gonna do a practice run, but I wanna first address a few things. So this level has a very weird balancing, meaning that the level is definitely very first half heavy, especially the part between 20 and 44 is very difficult. However, that doesn't mean that the second half is free or anything. Actually, what I think is that the first half, despite being harder, is also much more consistent, meaning that I like the first half a lot more than the second half. The second half has a lot of things I actually do not like in this level. I do think the level is overall good. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, just saying that it's not perfect. It definitely has its flaws, and I'm gonna point them out once I get there into my practice run. So yeah, I would say just go into my copy, not this level, this one. Those are my runs. This took 33k attempts, which may be a lot for a lot of people. For me, I don't really care. I care about real time. As I said, I beat it in 5 or 6 days, which is pretty good. That's what I care about. I would say I beat this faster than a level that takes me half of this attempt count, but then I spend 2 weeks instead of 1 to beat it. So yeah, I don't really care about attempt count. And yeah, so this level starts with the ship that goes up until 20%. Let's do that. Okay, so this first ship is probably my favorite part of the level, I would say. It's slow, but I never got boring. It's super consistent. It's very engaging. It's kind of gameplay, ship gameplay I really like, with a lot of control. It's not just boring straight fly or something like that. There are a lot of orbs, recorrections. It's very engaging. I never got bored of it. It was very good pre-drop in my opinion. I haven't played that before recording this, so bear with me. Okay, so this is the only thing I actually do not like about this ship. This swing is actually very difficult. It's pretty tight, as you can see, and I'm gonna introduce here the main problem of this level, which is gonna wait. Let's do that. What? Hello? Do you see the player here? No. That's because this level keeps turning the player invisible, or actually, it's not invisible. This is probably the only instance where the player is actually made invisible. But as you can see here in the red part of the screen, there are these pieces of decoration in the foreground, and this one is kind of transparent in the first ship. However, once the level progresses, those foreground decorations become brick walls that actually make the player completely invisible, and they're gonna hide a few clicks that are actually tight, or anyway make clicks that aren't tight hard for any reason, just simply for them being blind. And that's definitely the main problem of this level, and I'm gonna point all them out. Yeah, here's the first one. This click would be hard even if it was visible. So yeah. And maybe this the only other thing I would a little bit complain about this ship, this moving object that goes down. Sometimes kills you. It's not a problem because as you can see there's a lot of space, but yeah, recorrecting when you recorrect sometimes you get killed by this structure that moves down. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, here we get to the drop. The drop consists in a sequence of 5 waves, which are very tight, especially I would say the second and the fifth one. So I'm gonna say something that's super minor. I don't really like the fact that these slopes are misaligned, because there are these corners that actually have the bound of the gap are those slopes that are sticking out, those corners, but they're kind of weird because they're not aligned with the other slope on the other side. That's extremely minor. It's not a problem. This wave in particular is probably the easiest one also. Doesn't really affect too much, just very minor detail I'm pointing out. And then this wave, the second wave, this one probably the hardest one. This is just tight. Fun fact: this death I just got is death I was getting all the time, but it's a death that really shouldn't happen. That's just bad muscle memory, and this bad muscle memory is due to the fact that I didn't know almost up until the end of my grind that there are D blocks here. I wasn't aware of that. I thought this structure killed you. So I was just always releasing early in order to not hit my head here, even though you can actually do that. So I just, at that point, I just had the habit of releasing earlier. So that bad muscle memory kind of sticked with me, but that's just on me, of course. And this blurb is kind of annoying. Here. So here is a bad thing. First of all, you can miss this portal, which actually happened a few times. Second, even if you don't miss this portal, if you enter this portal low, so this click right here, this jump should be a buffer. Looks like a buffer, and in most cases it is a buffer. The problem is that if you enter this portal like right here, for instance, even if you turn into a cube, the click isn't a buffer anymore, meaning that you reach the orb, but then you can't click it late enough to not die to this block, which is extremely annoying. And that's something that was happening quite often actually, and was pissing me off very much, because yeah, you pass the first 3 waves and then you want to get to the 4th one, but no, you die to a cube jump that is free basically. And once again, this thing is completely invisible. I'm gonna show it. As you can see, you can't. Okay, that wave I just passed. It's the 4th one. Definitely my favorite. No, why did I do that? Definitely my favorite one. So this wave is pretty satisfying. Very consistent. And then this one, this is the 5th wave. This is just hard, especially this click right here. This wave is just 2 clicks, 1 and 2, but they're pretty tight. So dying here was common. It got consistent. Like those waves all got consistent. But yeah, it's definitely challenging. And then once you get here, you actually get to the second half of the level, which is the half I was talking about. So from here on, the level becomes easier, but also becomes worse in my opinion. And the thing is, as I said, the first half, so up until here, go extremely consistent. Like I was getting here even back to back during my last 2 days of attempts. Like I was getting 50 plus attempts twice in a row, stuff like that, or like 3 times in 5 attempts, stuff like that, and which was extremely consistent and very good consistency because, as I said, that's passing the hard part twice in a row or 3 times in a row. Problem is that the second half has a lot more awkward things and a lot of things that aren't consistent. So the first one comes right away. So there is, as you can see, I'm entering this ship portal with a lot of downwards momentum, which makes this thing, now this is gonna close up this gap, of course. This recorrection is very awkward, and then there is a chain of 4 orbs here, which is actually very, I really dislike those 4 orbs. Just those are one of my least favorite parts of the level. Hitting this green orb is extremely specific. You have to hit it like here, pretty much. If you hit it way too early, then there is a very big chance that you hit this early and you don't reach this portal at all, and you die here. If you go a little bit higher, then you die to the spike no matter what. Very weird, and it all comes from the fact that this swing right here is weird. Like you're going here with weird momentum, therefore those 4 orbs become very weird. This block is actually very nice. This pink orb has to be micro-clicked, as you can see, as you're gonna see in a second. But yeah, those 4 orbs, bad. I don't like them. Okay, so this gap is pretty wide, right? There's no reason why you should die to this gap because it's huge. However, the reason why you die to it is because there's this thing here which makes this recorrection completely blind. And I died here a lot from zero, and that is extremely annoying because you should never die to this part. Like, this is huge. You see? That you have to guess basically where your ship is. And that is something that I really don't like. Once again, this decoration here. So, here there are recorrection blocks. Those recorrection blocks are good. The thing that isn't good is the fact that, once again, you cannot see them, and so you don't know where you have to start straight flying. It's not really a huge problem here, but it's gonna be in a second structure, which is coming very, very soon. Now, these 4 orbs. Once again, this one is gonna be completely blind. And those orbs have different timings, meaning that those two are, the first two are very fast. You have to click them pretty much immediately. This one is extremely late, as you can see, and this one is also kind of late. The thing is that since here there's gonna be another piece of decoration as blocking your view in a second, you don't know where you have to click this. You just know you have to wait, because if you click it right away, you're gonna die, of course, to the spike. But you have to completely guess how much you have to wait, because once again, you cannot see your ship. And that makes this click very annoying. And this click is a little bit less annoying than this one, but still annoying because you have to wait. As you can see, you have to wait. Here I'm waiting way too much. But you can see it. And here, there are other recorrection blocks. However, this time, not only they are invisible, but there is just straight up a spike. Like, you see this, you say, oh, there's a spike here. No, there's a block here. I don't understand this. Just make the block visible, remove the spike. Why there should be a spike that is not there? You basically have to start straight flying here, so you can just do one click here and then click the black orb. And you have to click this black orb right away, otherwise you die to the spike. But the problem is that, sure, the recorrection block is good, but why not make it visible? Those are very basic things. Like, this level, the gameplay of this level is good. There are just the decoration wasn't handled properly, in my opinion. I'm sure the background looks fantastic. The design, block design, I really love also the color scheme, the color palette, those brown fits the level, whatever. I don't like how the decoration matches up with the gameplay, basically. Now this timing was a problem for me. That's just nothing wrong with this timing. That's just a skill issue on my end. I found this a choke point. I think this is one of the hardest timing in the second half, but I died to this blue orb 4 times before passing it from 0, which is a little bit ridiculous. That shouldn't have happened. I was expecting to die here because I was dying here in runs too, but not 4 times before passing once. Then I didn't die to it anymore. I passed it 3 times in a row. Third time I beat the level. But yeah, this was just a hard click for me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's completely visible. This isn't blind or anything. It's just I don't know. I struggle with it. That was just on my hand. Here once again, there are spikes here. This is a huge gap. I never died to it. There's no reason to die here. But once again, why should this be covered? Why there's this thing here? I don't understand. Genuinely. And here there's a bug in this level. So do you see this? I'm gonna see if I can recreate it. And that actually happened from 0. That was my last death from 0 actually. 70%, the spike. So if you enter this portal low, you just die to the spike. And that's stupid, because if you want me to enter into the portal higher, sure, put a spike like here. Don't let me do that. Instead of having this huge, like this space, and then if you enter slightly lower, I die to the spike. That's just an inconsistency in the level. Just put a bigger spike here so that if I'm going down, I die to that spike. That if I make it to the portal, I should live. I shouldn't die after making it to the portal. That's what I mean. I really don't think that's something good to have into your level. If you see my completion, you can see that here I'm basically going very high. I almost died to the spike because I was so scared to die again to the spike, because when I got here the first time, I was just straight flying normally, and then I died to the spike because probably had that tiny bit of downwards momentum that was enough for me to make me die here. So in my completion, I was very scared of that happening again, so I flew very high here, almost died to the spike, because I was scared of that happening again. That shouldn't be a thing. Let's see if I can recreate it. Yeah, like that, you see? That's not good in my opinion. Okay, so this is the ending. This cube is by far the easiest part of the level. Not much to say. Yeah, let's die to it. Why not? Not much to say here. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is just a bunch of buffer clicks. And here is the last instance of something being blind for no reason. This click is actually a timing. If you click, you basically have to click when you can't see the ball, because if you click like here, of course you're gonna get the spike, but if you click here, you're not gonna make it to the portal, you're just gonna fall into those spikes. So you have to click kind of here. Once again, it's a completely blind timing for no reason. Yeah, here I click too early. And then this ship is the final ship. I really like this ship. I think it's a very, very good way of ending the level, but I also think this is probably the worst part of the level. As I said, the second half is easier overall, and especially the ending cube is free. But then this ship is probably the worst part of the level, and I'm very surprised I fluked it. And the reason why it's hard is because it requires a lot of control, as you're gonna see after you pass this. So there's a swing down, and then you have to do kind of a you're gonna see in a second. This is hard here. So basically you go down here, which is already, it's very easy. If you go like, if you fall way too fast, you die here, or if you wanna stay a little bit higher, you can very easily die here. But the point is that once you get here, there are black orbs into those two portals, So the way this part works, or at least I think, is just doing one big click, and or that's how I did it. I've seen people doing a recorrection here that never worked for me. Because in order to for that to work, you have to like you, you don't have to have momentum at all basically entering this portal, so you have to almost scratch the spike and enter this portal with no momentum in order to recorrect yourself for this other one. That was way harder for me to do. I didn't like it, so I opted to just do one big swing. But it's actually very precise. It's very easy to start holding early, late, or even releasing. Like it's a very precise swing. I'm very glad I fluked it. Yeah, as you can see here, yeah. What am I doing? Okay, brother. As I said, this is hard. I don't know how I didn't die here. That shows how big of a fluke that was. Okay, here we go. Ah, yeah, that's low. So yeah, that is Tuapeka. Overall, I would say it's a solid level. It's not the greatest level I've ever been in the game, but it's solid. So congrats to the creator. I also think there's a solo. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. This person verified the level himself. He also has only 4 extremes, so there's a chance. I'm not sure about that, but there's a chance that this was the first extreme, so in that case even bigger GG's. I think the gameplay a bit was actually very good. I just wish it was decorated better, and you really don't have to do much in order to make it better. Just remove the foreground decoration, that's it, or make it background decoration if you don't want to remove it. It's not that you have to entirely change how the level is designed, because most of the issues that this level has all come from the one problem that actually affects the level quite significantly. And yeah, last thing I want to say, I want to talk a little bit about the difficulty of this level. So first of all, this is a very high refresh rate dependent level. It's pretty much only ship and wave, so if you are on 60, then this level is probably bad. Keep it in mind if you want to play this on a low refresh rate device. But for most people who play on high refresh rate, that shouldn't be a big issue. And so for the difficulty, considering the fact that I actually shredded through this level, I definitely think this is a little bit overrated. I do agree with this being extreme demon. I really don't agree with this being easy tier. So as you can see here, this is the NLW integration mod that shows where a level is placed on NLW, and this is easy tier. And on a already extreme demons list, this is 930 something. I think that is a little bit high, personally. In my opinion, this is a super approachable level, and I see this a lot better. Like, in my opinion, this is more fitting to beginner tier, personally. So you can someone can say, yeah, but you don't have reference. Actually, I do. I have major progress on other 2 extremes. One of them is insane tier. I'm not gonna talk about that one for now. Just because I haven't played from zero. I have decent runs on it, like big runs, honestly, on 30 something to 100. But I haven't played from zero, so I can't really talk about it. But on the other one, which is Mobile Reds, I have posted the progress in the past. I have 81% from zero. And that level on NLW, the level is on easy tier too, so they're supposed to be similar in difficulty. And on RDL, the level is 70 spots below this, and that is insane in my opinion. That is so wrong. I personally believe that 81% on my Boreds, which is the progress I have, is much harder than beating this level. Like not just harder. I think it's harder by a margin. So I don't really see those two levels being in the same tier. I definitely think my Boreds is underrated. But anyway, it's definitely not easier than this level, like RDL says. That's like 100%. And that's not just coming from someone who hasn't beat Extreme, just because even Wolves, so top players, I know he said the level is severely underrated. So yeah, I don't know if this one should be easy tier or beginner. I definitely think that anyway, that this is way easier than that one. So it's one of the two, pick it. This is underrated, that one is this is overrated, or that one is severely underrated. You choose. I think this should be like together with Accu, Cataclysm and all the other stuff. I think I can pick Accu in around the same time that this took me, so it's most like beginner tier. Bye. Whatever. I don't think I have anything left to say, so just gonna say enjoy my completion and bye. I fluked it. Charlie Kirk lives.